Y'all asked for equality, ladies. So what's wrong with being the primary provider? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You asked for equality. So if you have equality in the jobs, and you're increasingly having that in the job market, how do you think you're still gonna keep on marrying up? Has anyone ever played musical chairs? How do you think you're gonna? How are you supposed to take half the jobs or half the great jobs and then still be marrying up? It just makes no sense. Or marrying on your level. No, you're gonna have to do like men do, which is sometimes you marry up, sometimes you marry equal and across, and sometimes you air quotes marry down. This aversion to air quotes marrying down, and let's be very clear. Like Obsidian said, this is a very class-based argument. The vast majority of black women are not making as much as their male counterparts.
Well, no. We have to keep the focus on what Banks is talking about. Banks is talking about elite. So,
Yes.
so the question here is, what happened in your? We'll use Ketanji Brown Jackson. We'll use her for a moment. So for a sister that's like that is who Banks is talking to. My question would be, what happened during your Harvard years? You mean to tell me there were no brothers at Harvard that you could have gotten with? None. All the brothers at Harvard were checking for Becky. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me all the black men that went to Harvard were checking for Becky. All the black men that went to Northwestern were checking for Becky. All the black men that went to Stanford were checking for Becky. Columbia, University of Pennsylvania, Dartmouth, Duke. That's what you're telling me.
But Obsidian, we already know that the level of arrogance and anger and resentment that some of these sisters have, they would say that. They would say all these brothers are colorist, and all of them, if they're not colorist, they were checking for white women. And I understand why you're asking the question. It's not lost on me. But I'm just, just to clarify, like, yeah, they would say that. We're dealing with a level of, and you see this with certain college educated black women. That education, when it comes to speaking about sex and relationships and interracial marriage and all that stuff, that their delusion, upscales their education. That education go out the window when they start talking about relationships. So yes, they would make that argument and look you straight in the face, bold in the face, and say it. Yes, when I was at Harvard, when I was at Duke, when I was at Notre Dame, all the black guys were checking for white women or light skinned or racially ambiguous black women. Yes, they would say that.
No one have to explain why Michelle Obama got married off. Jennifer Everhart got married off. All these dark-skinned sisters got married off. They went to good schools too. What happened? What happened when you were in school? A lot of black women don't want to admit they didn't make it a priority. Period. They didn't make it a priority.
And if I can make one more argument before Big Truck goes, if we're gonna make the weight argument like the sister made, the one that was in school with Barack and Hill Harper. If you're gonna tell me that black men have an issue with weight, when we understand black men are the most body positive men on the planet, then you gotta explain to me this level of delusion. Let me get this right. Black men got an issue with black women's weight, and white and Asian and Latino men don't. I gotta stop right there. I'm gonna pause. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because there's a sister in that room named Marissa Lachelle, and she says this is so disgusting. So you, as a black woman, are saying, I think she's referring to you, Miss Sade. So you, as a black woman, are saying that black women who are overweight don't deserve love. Well, this is what I would say to that. I
got something for that too, Obsidian, after you.
This will be my response to that statement. No, you don't. You don't deserve anything. Deserve got nothing. I'm quoting a black woman now, Snoop Pearson from The Wire. Deserve got nothing to do with it. This isn't a competition or a race where everybody gets a participation trophy for just showing up. Mating is ruthless. There's nothing nice about it. There's nothing fair about it. It's cutthroat. I mean, it is what it is. If you fail to offer that which the opposite party wants, you fail. That's true for men and women alike.
I agree.
And we've done women, black and white, but since we're doing focus on black women who are highly educated, because that's who Banks is talking about, we do them no favors by continuing to lie to them. That's the reason why I wrote the book of Obsidian and Ladies Edition, because it's high time somebody told black women the truth. If you're a black woman and you lack that which the opposite sex, and let's be honest, you ain't checking for all of them, you checking for the high value ones. Let's be honest here. If you lack what they want, you lose.
Period. Not complicated. That's not racist. That's not that phobic. That's not, misogynist. To your point, men have preferences, and no, you don't just deserve something just by the nature of you being existing. We don't use that language for men. If a man said, "Oh, well, I deserve a model," we would all laugh him out this room.
Yep.
But somehow, as women, we deserve this Prince Charming just by nature of us being born without doing any work, and that's not being an adult.
We have to add the men into that, and we have to add the absent fathers. But the problem is that, so the question then becomes, if why women dealing with men who don't want to be husbands, who don't want to be fathers, who don't want to be part of their children's lives? Because when this is always talked about, it's always framed as, hey, look, well, yeah, blame the father. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, we got to blame that guy, but that guy's not there. Then the question becomes, so why'd you even involve yourself with that guy at all? That's really the question that I have. And you know what? When I get into these chat rooms, and I don't say I'm really confronting women on it, but I'll ask them, and I'll go, well, so if these guys are not interested in being married, they're not interested in being fathers, then why would any women deal with them at all? Why are they producing children? Why are these guys even having a chance to get access, sexual access, and then actually being blessed with children? Why are women even doing that? And no woman to this day can really give me a solid answer on that. They just give me there's a lot of explaining going on. I call it explaining, right?
Right.
They're woman's explaining or whatever it is they do, but no one can give me an actual, legitimate, logical answer that makes sense, that bare bones. When if those guys are bad, just leave them alone. That's like me going up to a bunch of women and going, you know what? She's toxic. Let me pick one of these toxic women, marry her, create children with her, and then blame all the problems that I have with her on her.
Right.
Or on the women. And I'm like, no, they'll put that on the man. And so yeah, the absent father, he's responsible, but at the same time, the idea is, why is he in the picture in the first place? You see what I'm saying?